It's really only looking back that I could work out where this all might have started. I was on a training camp in Mallorca in May, and I was about 2 weeks out from my A race of the season. I had a really silly accident. It wasn't even a big accident, but I ended up just flipping over and landing kind of on my neck, kind of just really awkwardly. I felt pretty bad going into the race, but I didn't have a knee problem really, apart from the tendinopathy on my right knee, which was a kind of underlying chronic issue. And then I raced in Barcelona and had a great swim and a pretty good bike. And then I got onto the run, and I really struggled with the whiplash kind of issue with I had a very tight neck, and I had breathing trouble, and I couldn't quite work out what was wrong because I was in really good shape. But anyway, I got through the race, and I just felt awful body-wise. So I went and got an MRI done privately, and I took that MRI to Professor Wilson on the recommendation of my friend Nicola. So I had a consultation with Professor Wilson at the orthopaedic specialist group, and he could see exactly what was wrong and knew how to fix it. I also met Mr Khakha then as well, so he kind of brought Mr Khakha in as well, and they discussed how they could do the surgery basically. So they identified that there was a lateral chondral defect, so essentially the cartilage had been completely broken off of the side of the knee and was sort of getting stuck in the joint, which is why it felt horrible and I couldn't really move the joint. Professor Wilson explained the procedure. It sounded quite a complicated and tricky procedure of a microfracture. So they stick needles in the bone and affix the implant to it, and I think the plan is it makes it bleed a little bit so that it kind of like simulates the healing and the recovery, and hopefully the bone will then grow around the implant and accept it, and it'll all be good as new. That was the plan. So it sounded like an amazingly clever thing to do, but it sounded like a really good option for full recovery. I knew I had to have something done, and I was prepared to wait for the right procedure and the right person because I wanted to get the best results. I went on a training camp in February, so just 3 months after surgery, as a coach. I think I was doing my rehab exercises or core work a few days after surgery. I was back in the pool a couple of weeks after surgery with a plastic bag over my cast, so I was just using my arms. And I was back in the gym after 4 weeks doing upper body work. And then out in Lanzarote in February, I was on an electric bike for the first time, which was great. And I think I was on my bike properly by, I think, April. And then I went on another training camp as a coach in May to Mallorca, which was a huge milestone and challenge because Mallorca is just mountains really for the cycling. I managed a couple of really good rides, and that was amazing. That was a real breakthrough moment, I think. And then out in Barcelona in June was the first time I ran full body weight for any extended period of time. I decided to go and support some friends who were racing an Ironman in Germany, and they were doing Ironman Frankfurt. So in the middle of June I set off on my bicycle and decided I would cycle there. So it took me 5 days to cycle to Germany, to Bonn, and then another day to get down to Frankfurt, and my knee was perfect. I mean, it was amazing. I was completely astounded. I didn't do any running, but I was cycling 6, 7, 8 hours a day. I was just amazed, absolutely amazed that my body could take it. I had a goal of racing in September. I'd qualified for the ITU World Championships, so the final, World Triathlon final basically in Switzerland. And I ended up finishing top 20 overall, which was amazing. And my run I just loved it. I just loved every second of it. It wasn't fast, but it was a lot better than I thought I could do. So that was a few months ago, and I'm now up to running half marathon kind of distance. I raced a 10K competitively last week, which again surprised me because I haven't done any focus training. I've just been building up gradually. But I'm really encouraged for next year. I'm a year post-surgery, and I think by all accounts I'm really happy with my fitness and my recovery. I'm hoping to race competitively again next year, but I'm really happy.